Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking ahead to an event happening this year, actually, May 27th and 28th, 2025.
That's right.
It's the 7th WCH Royal Summit, and it's taking place in Las Vegas at the Gold Coast Hotel and Casino. Now, one of the key figures attending as chief guest is His Royal Highness Constantine Mwogezi Butamanya. He's the Isabaruuli, the king of the Buruuli kingdom in Uganda.
Yes, a very distinguished guest.
So our mission today really is to understand why his participation is such a big deal and, what his work is all about.
Absolutely. And I think what jumps out immediately with King Mwogezi is his deep dedication to his people, the Buruuli.
Okay.
He was born right there in Nakasongola, Uganda, and his whole focus seems to be this blend of preserving their culture, their heritage, but also driving real socioeconomic progress.
So it's not just symbolic then?
Not at all. It's about tangible results, concrete things.
Right. Can you give us some examples? What sort of concrete actions are we talking about?
Well, for instance, he was behind the construction of the main house for the Kingdom Palace. That's a pretty significant undertaking.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
And beyond that, things like developing 5 different community-safe water sources. I mean, that's addressing a really fundamental need.
Okay, water access, that's huge. What else?
Well, his focus also goes into, key social areas, health, education, and, crucially, keeping the culture alive.
Cultural preservation.
And what's interesting is how they approach it, tackling really tough issues, HIV/AIDS, gender-based violence, teenage pregnancies, but doing it through programs that are, culturally aware and community-led.
That approach sounds key. And I read something fascinating, his work with the Buruuli language.
Yes, that's a major part of the cultural preservation piece, supporting things like creating dictionaries, even translating the Bible into Buruuli.
Wow. Dictionaries and Bible translations.
Yeah.
Why the strong focus on language itself?
Well, I think the idea is that the language is it's central to holding the culture together, isn't it? Passing down traditions, knowledge.
Yeah, that makes sense. It reinforces their identity.
Exactly. It empowers the community.
And it seems his work isn't only focused on culture and health. He's also involved in rights and economics.
That's right. He's a strong advocate for land rights, for improving household incomes, and pushing for better access to education, especially for the youth. It's quite a holistic view.
It really does sound holistic. Has this work been recognized?
Oh, definitely. He received the Nalubal Award from the Ugandan government. It's a prestigious honor recognizing his contributions.
Okay, impressive. And does his influence stop at the borders of his kingdom?
No, actually. He's currently the chairman of the Uganda Kings and Cultural Leaders Forum.
Oh, interesting. What does that involve?
It means he's playing a role in fostering unity and collaboration between all the different cultural institutions across Uganda, sharing ideas, working together.
So building bridges between these traditional leadership groups.
Precisely. It strengthens their collective voice on national issues.
Okay, so let's tie this back to the summit in Las Vegas this May. Given all this background, why is his presence there significant? It's more than just showing up, right?
Absolutely. He brings direct, on-the-ground experience in everything we've just talked about: cultural preservation, community development, tackling social issues.
Real-world insights.
Exactly. Practical knowledge that other leaders and attendees at the summit can learn from. He shows how traditional leadership can really engage with, modern challenges.
And remind us, who's putting this summit together?
The main organizer is We Care for Humanity, WCH. They're working with the Royal House of Luzon Tagalog, also known as Royal Maharlika, and the Sultanate of Maguindanao.
Okay.
And they also have collaboration from the Philippine Honorary Consulate of Las Vegas. The convener bringing it all together is Mahaputri Mariam Leonor Torres Mastura. She holds titles as Queen of the Royal House of Luzon Tagalog and Bay Mampong sa Maguindanao.
Quite a collaboration.
All groups seemingly focused on global well-being and the positive role cultural leaders can play.
So if we boil it down, the main takeaway is that King Mwogezi's leadership is multifaceted.
Yeah.
He's deeply invested in both the cultural heart and the practical progress of his community.
Yeah.
And that unique combination makes his participation at this WCH Royal Summit this year a really notable event.
Yeah.
A powerful example of blending tradition and progress.
It really is. And, it leaves you thinking, doesn't it? For you listening, consider this. In our world today, what unique role can these cultural leaders really play in addressing global challenges? And how can international forums like this summit actually help amplify their efforts and foster that kind of needed collaboration? Something to mull over.